Structure skills. Skill 35. Use the proper tense with time expressions. Why is it so important to understand it? In simple words for language learners, knowing how to tell the time tense is a crucial ability. This is because we will find it simpler to communicate ideas and share our feelings by talking or writing about actions that happened or will happen. We can also learn important things such as terms, vocabulary, and info, especially when taking into account adverbs of time and tenses. Let's see 3 examples. 1. The sentences say we moved to Arkansas in 1970. 2. We had left there by 1980. And 3. We have lived in Los Angeles since 1996. The time statement, in 1970, in the first example suggests that the verb should be in the simple past, moved. The second example shows that the verb should be in the past perfect, had left, as the time expression, by 1980, implies. The third example shows that the verb should be in the present perfect, have lived, as the temporal phrase, since 1996, implies. The words ago, last, and recently are additional temporal expressions that make it obvious which tense is being used. Let's see other 3 examples. The first one says, she got a job 2 years ago. The second one says, she started working last week. The third one says, she has worked very hard lately. The time statement, 2 years ago, in the first example implies that the verb should be in the simple past, got. The second example shows that the verb should be in the simple past, started, as the time expression, last week, implies. The temporal expression, recently, in the third example indicates that the verb, has worked, belongs in the present perfect tense. The time phrases that correspond to the appropriate verb tense are listed in the chart below. Take a moment and pause the video. Try to identify each preposition composing each sentence according to their respective tense. Pause the video and check the following chart. In this chat you will find the most common basics TP form tenses in a proper way. Skill 32. Use the right tense when using would and will. Let's take a moment to read. You can pause the video or read along with my voice. The following sentences are using the words will and would, which are modal verbs, but we need to pay attention to them. Try to identify their usage in each sentence. In English, specific verb tense combinations are frequently used. One is the result of will and the simple present. I know that they will arrive soon. It is certain that he will graduate. The combination of the simple past and would is another frequent combination. I knew that he would arrive. It was certain that he would graduate. It is crucial to emphasize that, in the context of this combination, the present should be used with will and the past with would typically, they shouldn't be mixed. The usual mistakes that should be avoided in general include combining the past with will and the present with would. In English, specific verb tense combinations are frequently used. One is the result of will and the simple present. I know that they will arrive soon. It is certain that he will graduate. The combination of the simple past and would is another frequent combination. I knew that he would arrive. It was certain that he would graduate. It is crucial to emphasize that, in the context of this combination, the present should be used with will and the past with would typically, they shouldn't be mixed. The usual mistakes that should be avoided in general include combining the past with will and the present with would. Let's see other examples. I know that he would arrive soon. It was certain that he will graduate. The first example has a logical contradiction between the present, know, and the would. There are 2 ways that it can be improved. I knew that he would arrive soon. I know that he will arrive soon. In the second illustration, where the past, was, is inconsistent with the future, will, there are likewise 2 possible solutions. It was certain that he would graduate. It is certain that he will graduate. Check the following chart. It helps us understand how and when to use would and will. Let's see the last example. It says, I would like to know if you have a pencil that I could borrow. In the last part below, when making formally requested statements, the modal verb would is used instead. Using the present tense along with this kind of would is common. Skill 49. Recognize adjectives. So, what is it about? Read along with me the following information. We hope this data is useful for you. As English language students, we need to know or remember that an adjective becomes an adverb by adding "ly" at the end of the adjective. In simpler words, the foundation word at the beginning and "ly" added at the end. Yeah, it is true, you only need to add "ly" to an adjective that ends in a consonant to turn it into an adverb, but in this part we will see exceptions of "ly" suffixes functioning not as adverbs but as adjectives. Alright, and what's the difference? Well, for this topic it is important to know that both adverbs and adjectives are components of speech that are used to describe things, but what they describe differs. Adverbs are used to describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs, whereas nouns and pronouns are described by adjectives. In English, words with the suffix "ly" are typically adverbs. However, a few adjectives have words that finish in "ly", and these adjectives might be confusing when used in written expression questions on the Toefl exam. Let's see an example. C. The manager turned in his weekly report. Weekly functions as an adjective while report as a noun. Although this example is accurate, it looks to be erroneous since the word report appears to have an adverb ending in "ly". However, the adjectival form of the noun report is weekly. You have probably come across terms that finish in "ly", but you might not be aware of their origin. For instance, by adding "ly" to the end of the adjective bad, it becomes the adverb badly. English has several words ending in "ly". For the Toefl test, you must be careful when finding these sorts of sentences. It is not that hard to understand, but do not worry, as you practice in the practice section you will find it easier to comprehend. Now let's proceed to the following section, where a set of exercises awaits you.